Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Libra for the middle of September. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go and see what we have here for you, Libra. Do hope you're doing well, hope things are going good for you. Now I'm using the Gilded Tarot as well as the Angel Answers Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, 1, 2, 3, and okay. Do hit that like button and subscribe as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. All right, make sure we're all set up here and in view. And then we'll also take 1, 2, 3 of these oracle cards here. Okay, I think that looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Chariot. So the Chariot is really a positive card in the tarot. The Chariot can indicate that you are overcoming obstacles at this time in your life. And in fact, it is a big card of victory and success in the tarot. This is one of these things when you're like trailblazing, right? You are kind of going down new roads, you're creating new paths, and you are being victorious. It's also the energy of as above, so below. You can see the sun pattern here, or the sun on the canopy above, indicating the universe, and the sphinxes being that they are on the ground, indicate Earth. So as it is done in the universe, it is done down here. And as you put in the work, you are rewarded, right? That's the idea, because the key word with the Chariot is self-discipline. And through self-discipline, you can achieve amazing things. Now, in what area of your life could this be around? Well, I think that we will discover that in this reading. But, you know, I'm seeing a Wands card here. I'm seeing the Emperor. I'm seeing Pentacles. You know, obviously we have 2 Cups cards. We have 2 Wands cards, 2 Cups cards, a Sword. So honestly, this feels like a general life reading. I think it could be in many areas of your life. If there are some love messages, I will bring in the love messages, but right now I'm feeling like, you know, there could be, but right now I'm feeling like this is like a general life reading. So let's just dive in here. So in the overall situation or the current situation, you do have this Knight of Wands, which is all about I wanted to say discovery. It's not a card I normally, or it's not a word I normally say with this card, but Knight of Wands can be about going to new places. So maybe that's what I was thinking about, discovery. Maybe some of you are doing something with discovery at this time, but this can come forward when you're maybe ready to change your location, like get a new apartment, get a new house, change your zip code, move to a new state, city, country. I always like to say that this is like the van life card as well. If you want to throw everything in your van and like do a cross-country road trip, like this would be the Knight of Wands energy. On a different level, as Wands does connect to work, career, and enterprise, this person is a Swiss Army knife. They are a jack of all trades, and they are the true maverick in the tarot, in that they can bring a lot to the table. They have a lot to offer. And there are a lot of talents and skills and abilities that the Knight of Wands has, and that always ensures that they will be employed somewhere, and it always ensures that people love to work with the Knight of Wands. They can shift from thing to thing often. That is one of the things with the Knight of Wands, especially in love. Like Knight of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, even Page of Wands, all of those Wands court cards, they have sometimes the reputation of being like a player in the tarot. And so that is something. Now you do in the problem position have this Seven of Swords energy. Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords, you know, if I'm looking at this from like a relationship perspective, might have had you might have had a fun situation with somebody, but they may have made promises to you that were not kept, as you have this Seven of Swords, because this card can be an energy of deception, somebody who's like backstabbing or lying, cheating, stealing, as it were. And you can see that they're kind of stealing the swords here. And, you know, when you get this card, it is, I've oftentimes see it come forward, not just with like deception or backstabbing or anything like that. But I also see it come forward when people are gossiping. Swords represents, is the suit of communication. And so that could certainly also be here. The other thing is, since we're trying to connect this back to like self-discipline in some ways, because remember I said here with the Chariot, the Seven of Swords asks you to build a routine or to build a strategy, and it's in the problem position. So I wonder if some of you, like, do you have a game plan is my question for you. Like, do you have a framework for success or a game plan or something like that at this time? And I do also wonder if some of you are switching from thing to thing in your life. That's another thing that's kind of coming to my mind at this time. Now, in the past, you have the World card, which is all about major kind of cycles closing out. In the past here, and I think that this came in to the weekly reading I just did for Libra as well. If you're interested, you can go on my channel and just check out the weekly reading, and you'll see it. It was just posted just a few days ago. But this World card, this is, I think you had it in that weekly reading as well, but I think that some Libras have really been closing out big chapters or big cycles in their life. This is also a very good card in indicating that you have attained victory. So you do have two cards of victory here with the Chariot and the World. You have sort of metaphorically reached the top of the world. You've gotten to the top of the world, and you can kind of celebrate or even give yourself a period of like reflection. Now this has happened, this is showing up in the past, so it says that this has already sort of happened and has already sort of shown up for you here. But I do feel like now some of you, how like when you kind of complete something that you've been thinking about doing for a long time and you're like, now what? I think some of you are kind of looking for now what? Like you have this like now what type of energy here with the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords. And I think you recognize that there are so many different directions that you could kind of go down. And, having like narrowing your focus, may really be beneficial to you at this time. That's something that's coming in here. But in the future, you do have this tower moment. You do have the tower here. Now I need to point out that it's paired with the star, which for me is always a great combination. The tower is 16 and the star is 17. Oh my gosh, the Mercury retrograde, it is here. And so the communication, but anyway, the tower is all about surprises potentially or upheavals. Now this is, especially when you get the star with it, it is a blessing in disguise, okay? And so the reality is that this person, they were in this tower, and if you notice, this tower doesn't have any doors. And so they didn't have a way out of their situation, but now they do. Now they do. And so when you get the tower, you can, go one of two ways. You can think of it in a negative way and be like, oh my God, the world's collapsing, my world's collapsing. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to roll with the punches, and I'm going to recognize that this situation is happening so I can get a better situation. And that's the best way from my perspective to look at the tower. Now, on your thoughts or in your mind here, you have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is a card that can indicate confusion. It can indicate some sort of like dispersed energy, or it can feel like you are sort of spread too thin. Like that's something that comes forward when you get the Seven of Cups, where your energy is sort of all over the place or spread too thin in some ways. And it can be those sorts of things, but I also think that, the thing is, Seven of Cups can also indicate that you have a lot of choices available to you. Here's the thing though, right? So we were talking about self-discipline here at the beginning of this reading, indicating, self-discipline will lead to a victory for you. And now you have this paired here with the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Because remember, I was talking about how some of you maybe need to build a strategy or a game plan or have a backup plan or something like that. And so it's like, I feel like for some of you, how am I trying to describe this? It's almost like in my mind, I see like a ball of yarn. You know how you would see like a ball of yarn and it's like all sort of like woven together. Like I feel like there are you have to like untie the yarn in your mind right now. I feel like there is something that's a little bit confusing in your life right now, Libra, that you are looking to sort of unravel or untie here at this moment. In the unconscious, what you can't see or the hidden, you do have the Star card, which is an incredible card, really pulls this reading together for you, because in the subconscious here, this is what you can't see or what is hidden or what you don't see coming. And that can be like, least when you least expect it, your wish coming true, because the Star card is one of the major wish cards in the tarot. And it's also about like being in the starlight or being in the spotlight. It can indicate healing, optimism, hope on the horizon. And again, you may have this Tower moment, but you also have the Star. And remember, this is really a blessing in disguise for you. This is really even potentially a synchronicity. When I look at the Star card, I always think about synchronicities as well. And so I do feel like you will kind of unravel or untangle. I think untangle is probably the right word. Untangle the confusion that's going on in your mind. In the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Emperor. This is father energy. It is the father archetype, but I don't know if that really connects to this reading. In another way, and more importantly, the Emperor is big boss energy. It is a very good sign for business readings. It says that you are doing well in business situations. You're doing well from a business context. Certainly a card you love to see. And the Emperor can say that you are taking authority. You are taking ownership and leadership of your life. And you are, once again, blazing trails. I feel like is doing some trailblazing here is what I feel like saying for you here at this time, Libra. Now, in the external situation, you do have the Nine of Pentacles, which is about financial independence. This person is surrounded by everything that they could need in their life. They have this investment vehicle here that is growing them pentacles, which is represented by the bush here, which is growing pentacles. They have their animal friends, which makes them happy. They have nice clothing. They're surrounded in nature. It's a nice day. This represents being content with your situation. And it also represents your ability to stand on your own 2 feet. And on top of that, it can be about this idea that health is wealth. And I think that there's like an untangling here that you are going through at this moment with the Seven of Cups here, and needing to get like clear or have a game plan here, have a strategy here. I think that this could be very helpful for you. In the hopes and fears, you have the Six of Cups, which is potentially about, you may be fearful about like someone from the past, like an ex or something like that, trying to re-enter. That does happen during Mercury retrograde periods, or somebody from your past re-entering into your life in some ways. This could also just be you working through memories from the past. The Six of Cups may also ask you to stop and smell the roses and be in the now. And so, especially if you're watching this and you're afraid of this tower, I wouldn't be afraid. Again, I would really recommend that you try to think of tarot as something that something a little bit extra that can kind of help you throughout your day, or that can kind of be like an extra boost, but it's not like the end all be all, and just it's like extra guidance. And so yeah, just keep that in mind. In the outcome, you have the Four of Wands here as well, which is all about foundations and achievements. It is family energy as well. You can see the young family in the card, and it's also a major card of marriage. You could also say that the Four of Wands is a new start, and so I definitely feel like there could be a new start here. It is there are elements of shock and surprise, but I also think that this new start comes as you begin to untangle. That word keeps coming into my mind. You untangling something here at this time is like very helpful. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 tarot cards. Okay, so you have the Hermit, the Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords here to clarify this message even further. So it might just be time for you to step away for a second from your current problem. Okay, this person is trapped in their thinking. Okay, they are trapped in the imprisonment of their mind, or the imprisonment of their thoughts. And they are blindfolded. They cannot see a way out, even though there clearly is a way out. They could easily just get out of this imprisonment here. And you have this here with this Hermit card, which asks you to move into potentially introspection. The Eight of Swords, again, it says there's a solution. This could be around you like talking to yourself negatively, as you have the Five of Pentacles here. And this could be around you not going as big as you could. Like, instead of thinking big, you could be thinking small. And I feel like maybe some of you need to step away to help you untangle. Let's see what else we have here in these 3 oracle cards. Okay, so you have "you're ready within the next few weeks" and "ask your angels." That's crazy. I think I shuffle these cards very, very well in between the readings, and I'm pretty sure another sign had this exact combination, like Capricorn maybe, something like that. But "you're ready" is a culmination card in this oracle deck. It's the last card. It's like the World. So some of you have completed something big. I also think that this untangling is going to be happening for you for the rest of September, maybe into October, into your birthday month here, Libra. And you can always reach out for spiritual support and ask your guides or ask your angels or whatever you attach meaning to help you along your journey. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.